Everybody? Welcome to Thursdays with Rob and Paul. I am Paul Scheer. Welcome to 2023. Welcome to the only Who's the Boss recap live stream on the internet. So much has happened in the last month. Let's get into it. I don't have Rob here. We've had holidays, we've had New Year's, we've given away a car. I currently don't have a nanny. My wife is mad that I'm doing this show. She just found out as we went live, but I'm here for you. Rob will not be here for you. People have been asking, what Who's the Boss episode will we be talking about? We'll get into it. We'll get in there. Yes, Rob, unfortunately, first of all, start off on a serious note. The reason why Rob isn't here tonight is because of a deadly fireworks accident on New Year's Eve. Rob had been trying to, I don't know how you call it. He called it a super blowout, and he was trying to set off the most fireworks in Pasadena. He was keeping them in that barn that he broadcast from, and I don't know if it was dry in that barn or it was because he goes there to smoke his cigs and his big cigars because, you know, he's a big cigar guy. We all know Rob has been on the cover of Cigar Aficionado magazine multiple times. Rob blew up his garage. No one has seen him. A lot of people have been saying Rob clearly did some sort of that's right, Molly. It was Rob's big blowout. A lot of people think Rob, the reason why they haven't found a body is because it's an insurance thing, that Rob blew up his own garage and has run away from his family and is living with another family in Idaho. There's been all these pictures on the internet of Rob in Idaho. I can't speak to that. All I know is that Rob's big blowout, his New Year's Eve fireworks celebration, ended in complete disaster this year because, as I said, Rob lit a match. So it's a sad. Idaho is far away. Is it like the fireplace accident? Maja Cat, I don't remember the fireplace accident. I imagine it probably is similar. There's been a lot of accidents, a lot of fire-related accidents on this show. But you know what? The show must go on. Yes, Rob is dead, or so we believe. He is, if someone finds him living with another family in Idaho, don't stop him. It could be his brother or somebody. I don't know. Here we go. So RIP, Mr. Huebel. Let's get into it, people. I'm trying to figure out where to go. There's so much to do. Let's check in here. So happy 2023. What did you do on New Year's? Well, I'll tell you. I was in Mexico. I had a great time in Mexico. Went with my family. And this is why going on vacation with my family is great. Or I'm going to give you a tip. Here, what am I going to say? I'm going to say here. All right, hold on. Oh, I guess people want to mourn Rob a little bit more. Do we want to mourn Rob? Should we mourn Rob or should we get into our New Year resolutions? Again, we're just starting the show. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting back into the swing of things. There's so many things going on. I forgot to record something, so now I'm recording that right now. All right, hold on. I'm going to get in there. All right,
Rob is dead.
But there's a new face on the scene.
Welcome, Molly. Oh, happy 2023, Molly. I haven't seen you yet. I am in the flesh.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much for taking care of our dog Meatball while I was away.
I had a blast. Meatball is the easiest dog in the world.
He's a real lazy dog. And I'm going to tell you what he did to you that you don't even know. He was playing you. He was gaming you.
Oh, no. What did he do?
Meatball's not allowed on the couch ever anymore since we redid he knows it.
He knows it. He didn't tell me.
But when people come over, he gets up there as if it's a everyday occurrence. And that's the thing about Meatball. The guy is sneaky smart. He looks like a big old dumb dog, like, but
He's
He knew it.
clever. He's very
Clever.
clever. He knows how to he's very fast too. He looks like he's not very fast. That dog is very fast.
He
Yeah, he played
moves
me.
when he
I didn't
wants
even
to
know.
move.
I did not even know that he was playing me. He was living his best life on that couch.
I know, and that's the thing about Meatball. Like Meatball is, I love him, but
Mhm.
he can be slightly vindictive.
Mhm.
He's got some like energy in him that he doesn't always display, and I knew he was on that couch, but I said, you know what? Let him live. Let him live. We're out of
Yeah.
the house. If it makes him feel comfortable. And now, how did Birdie get along with
She
Mr. Meat?
did great. There was one moment where in the middle of the night, multiple smoke detectors went off,
Oh no.
which made her very nervous, and I couldn't find her. And this is how you found out that I allowed Meatball on the couch was I sent a picture of Birdie. She had left my side, which she never does, and ran into the room where Meatball was and was sitting like huddled on the couch with him.
Oh my gosh. I
So
love that they were together. That's a huge moment.
it was huge. And, she, after every walk, she tries to initiate him in play. She growls at him. She tries to get him going. And occasionally, this time around, I saw in his head where he thought about reciprocating. He didn't actually, but he thought
Right.
about playing with her. That's
Okay,
huge.
that's good. That's a huge step. That's a huge
Mhm.
step for Meatball.
Yes.
And I'm happy that he has gotten there. Well, Molly, we have a lot to talk about
Oh,
because
yeah.
besides Meatball being, uh, you know, taken great care of, I was away. I want to know what you did for your vacation, how you celebrated, how you brought in the new year. I also want to do a little bit of a recap because from the last time you saw this whole team, we were hosting a live 2-day event. We took off the rest of the year, but Rob and I and Molly hosted the celebrity yard sale, which was a 2-day event where we gave away a car. We had amazing guests: Lauren Lapkus, Carl Tart, Ben Lee, Kumail Nanjiani, Atsuko Akatsuka. Who else am I missing? Who else do we have there?
Lauren Lapkus, Nicole
Lauren,
Byer,
Rob
Rob
Riggle.
Riggle.
Crazy crew.
Yeah, wild.
It was
Paul,
great.
I'm gonna hop off for a second, but I just wanted
Okay.
to ask if you're an incognito.
I am not, and that's what I'm trying to do surreptitiously over here. I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay,
get over
great.
there. I'm gonna
Well,
I'm gonna get in there, and then,
can I
guys,
tell
this is yeah,
you
yeah.
the horror that happened to me this week?
I would love. Yes, please. Let's hear it.
It's been raining cats and dogs in Los Angeles. And yesterday, Birdie, we have a routine. When we get out of the car, I drop her leash. She waits for me. I close the garage. We walk into the apartment. Birdie is glued to me. She would never leave me unless she
Uh-oh.
saw a squirrel. She saw
Oh,
a
Birdie goes
squirrel.
after squirrels.
Oh, yes, big time. She saw a squirrel. She ran to the sidewalk. I started screaming. It's raining. We live on a very busy street that is my nightmare. Uh, it, in some miracle, she chased the squirrel across the busy 2-lane street
Oh
into
my
the
God.
other neighborhood across the way in rain. It was so scary, but she was pissed at me because I took her away from the squirrel. So she's been on high alert. She's been really upset because I've been upset.
DWA, dogs with attitude. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here we are. We are back in, and I guess 2023 is all about dogs with attitude. I want to hear what people's resolutions are. I want to get into that. So in a little bit, I want you to think about your resolutions, but let's get into some good stuff. Yes, Rob Huebel has died. He was trying to host a New Year's Eve, Rob's Big Blowout. As you all know, it's the big event in Pasadena. His garage was too dry. The fireworks were all stored in there, and it blew up. We have not been able to find his body. We suspect that he is dead, but a lot of reports. And if you have any reports of Rob in Idaho, let me know, because there's a lot of rumors right now that Rob is living with a second family. We'll get into that a little bit later. We're also going to talk about who's the boss. I also just want to say, as of this recording, Kevin McCarthy still not the Speaker of the House. They just did another vote. 11 votes not in there, and they've adjourned to tomorrow. The man is not even making up votes. I don't know what is going to happen because it just seems like this is going to go on forever. And I think the thing that I think about this a lot, regardless of your politics, regardless of where you stand and whatever. You have to, on some level, take this as a grand humiliation, right? There has to be just a little piece of you that dies, right? Just to be like rejected 11 times. In my business, you don't know why you're rejected. Could be because of a myriad of things. But here, to see it over and over again, and then to feel like, you know what? Let's put it to a vote one more time. Like there has to be a hope. One more time, we got this. And I don't know if people are playing him. It feels like they're continually putting like kick me signs on his back. Molly, do we have the vote? He doesn't have the votes. You don't have the votes. Just like, what do they say that in Hamilton? Do they say that in Hamilton? You don't got the votes? Yeah, that is, wow, is that a newer vote? Because I saw one today with Trump having one vote. I mean, it just keeps on going on. It doesn't make a difference. It's not getting there. Let's talk about our Christmas gifts. I want to hear what people got, what people thought were good gifts. Oh my gosh, the distillation of the DC universe. Let me go into this first. All right. So every year for Christmas, I try to find the worst and most disgusting gift that I can get my children. Why? Because it will drive my wife insane and it will make my children beyond happy. And this year, I have found it. And this game, if you see, is called Flushing Frenzy. Flushing Frenzy. Maybe Molly, you can Google an image of this so people can see. So Flushing Frenzy lives out. Here you go. Just take a look. There it is. So Flushing Frenzy lives out the age-old game that kids love to play, which is how to unclog a toilet. It comes with a little plunger, and you have to plunge. You got to plunge your broke. Oh, don't reveal it yet. Don't reveal it yet, Molly. Don't reveal it yet. You got to plunge. Here it is. There you go. You got to plunge your toilet. Now, how do you know if you're successful? Well, if you're successful, a little turd pops out. That's right. A little turd pops out. So it's like Russian roulette for plunging. And I think, last year I had a bird that pooped. This year I have an actual toilet. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get my toilet together. There we go. You'd think by this long I would know which side is which. All right, so get my little poop. Put my poop in. Okay, there it is. There you are. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna push my poop down. Get in. Close the toilet. And now there's like a spinner. There's a game element to it. And I'm gonna try to pump my toilet. Here we go. So here we go. Okay, one pump. Okay, whew. Succeeded. 2 pumps. 3 pumps. 4 pumps. Whew. 5 pumps. 6 pumps. Now I feel like I've really gotten lucky here. 7 pumps. 8 pumps. 9 pumps. 10 pumps. Oh! The poop just shot out. Wow, that was fast. That poop. If we had our instant replay, let's play that back. Whoa! Molly, is there a commercial for Flushing Frenzy? Because this game is the best. Flushing Frenzy is my new jam. I love the Flushing Frenzy game. Where's that poop? He's right on the ground over here. Okay. Take a look. Here's Flushing Frenzy, the game. Oh, this is just the people doing it. I want to see like a commercial like, oh no, toilet's broken again. Time to Flush Frenzy. I mean, it should really be called Plunging the Poop. I mean, that's a better title for this. I mean, look, I did buy Flushing Frenzy, but I would love to buy Plunging the Poop. When you gotta plunge the poop, and have a little, and then when the poop comes out, they're like this. I'll give you a little thing. Like when the poop comes out, I'm gonna get out. The poop comes out and goes, I'm a little stinker. Oh, don't flush me. Ew. Look at this poop. I don't know if you could have even heard my. Look at this poop. It's can you see? Hold on. It's very nutty, but I'm a little sticker. Ooh, don't don't plunge me. Guys, why are we not making this into a TV show? I'm already giving you so much free content. Yeah, I mean, like as someone pointed out, it's the worst when you have poop in your teeth. But what about teeth in your poop? This is a wild toy, and I believe that this is a best-selling toy. But yeah, so let's maybe later we can play a game with any of our guests. We don't have guests today, but you can kind of see how long it takes for us to plunge. I've already reset the poop. Rob is just texting me. Let me see. Oh, Rob. Well, all right. Oh, he's not texting me. He's dead. All right. But watching that game, playing that game, and trying to call it a game, but it is a game. Trying to find that toy made me think back to when I was in New York City, and there's a thing called Toy Fair in New York City. Toy Fair is like what Molly just showed there. It's like a trade show for all the toy manufacturers to set up these elaborate booths to do all these very cool like toy demonstrations. And if you're like Target or Walmart or, a mom and pop toy store, you would go there and be like, oh my gosh, well, Hasbro's got this brand new game, or, Plunge the Poop looks great. We'll order 10,000 units, whatever you want to do. And so what they would often do is hire actors to stand behind the table and like display these toys. And thinking about Plunging the Poop reminded me of my favorite actor to ever work at the Toy Fair. I never got hired at Toy Fair. I would have been the dream gig to just play with toys all day, but I never got it. But you know who did? Vin Diesel did. Vin Diesel worked at Toy Fair. We were probably doing it at the same time. We were probably going into the same general Toy Fair auditions, and it was a great gig too because you got paid like $1,000 a day. It was that was huge money for just demoing toys. And I want you to see this. If you've not seen Vin Diesel at Toy Fair, you are missing out. Check it out. Oh, we have no sound. Hold on, we're gonna get some sound on this. Do we have no sound? This is kind of we're getting better. It's the first show back. All right, so Vin Diesel got this job at Toy Fair to advertise a brand new toy called, I think it's called like Sewer Sharks. It's basically a rip on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but listen to Vin Diesel describe these characters with such glee.
What are we looking at here?
We're looking at Boomer. This is Boomer. He's got the biggest mouth of them all. He's the whale shark. Say hello to that round mound of pound and his power slam. Very deadly. Oh. He loves to tenderize the competition before he eats him. Then we've got Sledge the Hammerhead. Sledge the Hammerhead loves to floor the competition with the flying headbutt. You got me? He's the leader of the street sharks. He's a great warrior. He's got the real shark skin, and his special power is the right hand roundhouse punch. He sends the competition to a watery grave. Boom! Death. I want to show you something up close and personal. I've got something here with such fantastic detail, it's going to blow you away.
Fantastic
detail. Shark! Good shush. Rocky Balboa action.
Okay. A+ for effort on Vin Diesel. We've all had those gigs, but he does feel like he is like an actor desperately trying to remember his line. He's not putting any spin on those puns. I mean, let's listen to him back. He's got that fantastic skin, or hand shark. He really brought out the full guns, but he's trying to do these puns and they're not working. And I don't know like why they gave him non-sewer sharks to be fighting. It looks like he's fighting like a troll doll. which feels to me like an unfair fight. And then he's also fighting like what looks like when they made like Rocky Balboa, like a Rambo action figure. Like that's a troll doll there. He should be fighting that troll. It seems like these are bullies. Yeah, here we go.
His special power is the right hand roundhouse punch. He sends the competition to a watery grave. Boom!
Is that a phrase? A watery grave? And rewind it back, Molly, because there's another one before that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pull it.
You got me? He's the leader of the street sharks.
Go back one more.
He's a great warrior. He loves to tenderize the competition before he eats him. Then we've got...
All right, stop it. All right, thanks.
Sled.
I love everything about this. I love Vin Diesel doing this because he's an actor. It's 1994. He's trying to get a gig. They're like, this guy's cool. This is the kind of energy that we need for our sewer sharks. Like, Vin, here's the deal. No shirt. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Like, no, you can't wear a shirt. Just a leather vest. Okay. I don't know if that's giving me the right vibe. It looks like at that point, he looks like he should be in like the Village People, right? Wearing like no shirt and that. And then they give him a shark's tooth because it seems like he's killing sharks. If you're wearing a shark tooth and demoing sharks, it seems like he has some authority over them. He's playing God. He's the Zeus in this shark world. And when he's saying like, he'll send him to a watery grave, it doesn't feel like that's a kid's toy. It doesn't feel like that's a thing that you want kids to be like, hey, you're going to a watery grave. Also, look, there's some issues with these sharks. I just feel like what I really love in all of this is we are seeing something that we don't often see with Vin, which is a more lighter side of Vin. I mean, not since The Pacifier, where he played a nanny, have we seen Vin out there having fun. And I'm sure he got some notes when he said Rocky Balboa style, because I'm sure they can't quote like Rocky Balboa in there, but his hand shark work was really great. Again, am I jealous because I wish I would have gotten one of those gigs that he did? Yeah, absolutely. I would have liked to have had one of those hand sharks. That is amazing. The look is truly next level. But you know what? Who's laughing now? Vin Diesel. He's laughing. And now my second best gift. My second best gift. Actually, that was my best gift that I bought. The best gift that I got, check this out. And Molly, if you have a good gift, show us your good gift. The best gift that I got was from my friend, Curtis Gwynn. Curtis Gwynn, he and I really developed and made NTSF together. He was like my number two, a brilliant guy. He was a great New York improviser and comedian, and now he's become a brilliant drama writer, writing on shows like Walking Dead, The Leftovers, and now Stranger Things. He's working on this really cool Stephen King adaptation of The Talisman. But just one of the great guys, super smart, super funny, and now just, killing it in the drama side. But he said, Paul, I got something for you. I got you a gift. I don't want you to be freaked out about it. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. He's like, but I'm sending it to your house. Now, Curtis and I don't exchange gifts. And so I was a little bit like, oh, that's neat. And he goes, I just want you to know you will be reunited with something that you lost a long time ago. And now I'm like, what could this be? So this box comes to my house. The box is up to my chest. It's a giant box. And I'm like, my God, what is in here? And I thought, okay, maybe it's like some kind of crazy Star Wars figure, like a big standee, or, I couldn't figure out, like, what does he mean? Like something what am I reunited with? And I know that they had made those like big, like recreations of Star Wars figures, but now they're like 4 feet tall. I was like, oh, maybe he got me one of those, like something fun. But no, packing peanuts coming out. And slowly but surely, I see this. I'm like, well, what is this? I don't know if you can see it here. Hold on, let me see. I see this come out of the box. I'm like, what is this? And I keep on raising it up and raising up. I'm like, a cane? What kind of cane? What kind of cane is this? And then I'm like, is this a joke about, being old or something? And then the mother lode, as I get to the bottom, of the cane, it all reveals itself to me. Here we go. It is bum ba ba ba. Ving Rhames's robot legs from Piranha 3 Double D. He bought this at a prop auction. These are the Timberlands. Molly, I don't know if you can pull up a picture, say Paul Scheer, Ving Rhames, Piranha 3 Double D, 2 Ds. And I now am the proud owner of Ving Rhames's legs that he used that turned into shotgun legs. He has shotgun legs in the movie, but these are the actual Timberlands that he wore and that became the guns. And you can see there's a picture of me like holding Ving. He's like almost in my arms. Or yeah, he's or with his legs or whatever it is. There's one where he's like in my arms. I can find it too. I should have prepared this. I didn't. I'm sorry. But and now I have a pair. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up. Oh, you got it. There it is. Right. Yeah. So there we are. Right. Those are his shotgun legs. But if you zoom in a little bit on that, you will see that this is like it was CGI'd out. Right. So that's the cane right there. Same cane. These are the Tims, and that's the shotgun. So this is part of movie history. I have part of movie history here. My movie history of Piranha 3 Double D props. I saw somebody selling my shirt from Piranha 3 Double D as well. So now I have these two things, to which June said you must get them out of the living room. And Curtis said you can sell it, you can get rid of it, you can do whatever you want. And I'm like, no, I am not getting rid of this piece of movie memorabilia. Ving Rhames's Timberlands, 2 canes, 1 boot. Oh no, 2 canes, 2 boots. It's that. But there we go. So Piranha 3 Double D now lives forever in infamy in my house. There it is. There's another one of there's the leg. They basically gave me the cane and the boot, but not the shotgun. But good on me. Okay. So that was probably my favorite gift that I got. Just because not many people are in the prop house. I actually want to look at this right now and see like this Piranha 3D Paul Scheer shirt. Let's see if I can get the whole thing back together and make my own sequel. Okay, here it is. Paul Scheer movie costume. Oh my gosh, it's right here. Okay, hold on, people. I'm gonna pull this up, Molly. I'm pulling it up right now. All right, I'm gonna present this. I'm gonna share screen. Here we go. Hold on. Blow this up real big. Who would have thought that no one would want all these amazing props from Piranha? Okay, so here we go. So this is, you can buy all of my props. There's not the Mortal Kombat props. Look right here. That says double the action, double the terror, double the D's. Piranha 3D Andrew Paul Scheer. That was the classic character of Andrew. And this is my outfit. So take a look at, you can buy all the pieces of it. This is oh, it's sold. Somebody owns this. Somebody owns. Let's see, can you see this or no? I guess you can't. I'm gonna see if you can see that image of my outfit. I mean, this is a 4 here. Let's see. A 4-piece. Where is this one? Let's get it open. Not opening up. Damn it. All right. Well, anyway, you can see that it's got you got the whole, I want to get the whole thing open up. Mike, can you open it up? I can't figure out what's going on. Let me see here. Open image. It's open in Dropbox. Who wants that? All right, let's see. I mean, there it is. I mean, very small, tiny, tiny, tiny. I can't blow it up. But anyway, there you go. You can get you can get everything. Somebody does have it. Who has it? Let's find out who has it. Who has my whole outfit? Someone bought it. Someone bought my entire outfit. And now I'm thinking, has anyone else bought anything else I've had? So let me search right here. Paul Scheer. See what other props people are walking around with. Playing Paul Scheer cosplay. No products. It feels like that doesn't do it service. Let's see. Categories, all categories. Search criteria, Paul Scheer. All right. I don't know if I have a lot of Nothing. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out if I'm more there because it doesn't even show up the Piranha one. So I feel like that's a faulty search. Not that I don't have classic props for people to have. But there you go. Piranha History on sale. I would love to know how much you paid for this, although I don't want to know because I enjoy it more not knowing. And by the way, looking at this prop website is pretty interesting. I'm just checking this out. You can get the vest from Aquaman. You can get the Child's Play head. You can get the Halloween Kills hospital gown. What else do they got here? This is actually, my friend Dave Mandel, who is one of the writers on Seinfeld and Curb and Veep, and director. He's an amazing guy. He has a whole prop podcast, and I've been to his apartment where he actually has like everything from like the flux capacitor to Indiana Jones's whip to Luke Skywalker's New Hope outfit. It's amazing. But here's all the movies. What do we want to see? Do we want to see props from the upside? Do you want some props from the upside? It's your ad blocker. Oh, I can't figure that out right now. Not live on the air. Because this is a professional show. Do you want to see Silver Linings Playbook? What do we want to see? All right, or let's look in comedies. Let's see if there's any other Mordecai, some Mordecai props. The Night Before props. They came together. Oh, David Wayne would like this. All right, what they have in the They Came Together props. You can get Amy Poehler's hero costume. This is so, and that's for $600. That's a lot of money for They Came Together. And who's making this money and who's selling it? All right, so let's see. With what do we want to see? Let's see some action movies. Point Break. It can't be the original Point Break, right? No, it's got to be the remake. Yeah, that's all right. So there we go. One more before we get out of here.
Breaking news, Paul.
What?
Someone sent to me this, which is being sold on eBay.
Oh, wow. A signed 8x10 of me. I have a lot of signatures floating around there. $82. No one's going to pay for that. Doesn't even have Seth Rogen on there, but there it is. I'm talking about like some real old school. Like I want to see.
Paul, they don't mention Seth Rogen anywhere in this listing.
I wonder how they got that. A lot of the times what happens is people will have me sign photo paper, just blank photo paper. And then they print out the picture afterwards. Like sometimes when you arrive at an event and people don't know that you're going to be there, that's how they kind of get ahead of it. It's like, just sign this photo paper. So you technically are signing a photo. You just don't know what is the thing that you're there for. I never charge. I don't want to do that stuff. I'm not into that stuff. But yeah, but I will sign that. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else. Here's okay. Well, no. I thought there was some. Okay, no. There's nothing else in there. All right, so that's a little journey down that line. Molly, did you get any good Christmas gifts? I don't want to put you on the spot.
I did, but the biggest gift of all is my beautiful dog.
I love that beautiful dog.
Did just share with you. I did a live unboxing with you.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't find it. This is for an upcoming gift for my boyfriend.
Oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, we'll be dating a year tomorrow or Saturday or something.
Let's talk about this because I want to. Can we talk about
yes.
it, or you? Okay.
Oh, sure.
You're coming up on a year.
Yes.
A year together.
Yes.
How do you feel at this point? Are you feeling like? Yeah. Okay.
I feel very patient. I think we're both very patient because we're both a lot.
Well, look. I think all good relationships require work, right? They're not easy. I think the people who say relationships are easy are not people who've often been together for a very long time.
Sure.
But when did you know that you were going to maybe make a year? Was it like, how long? Because I always am wondering about that. Like, it was love at first sight. We knew each other. Yeah.
No, well, he and I have known each other for like 8 years. We met in like an improv drop-in group.
Okay.
And we're Facebook friends for a while, but it just wasn't there. Neither of us were in the right place. And then we met on online, and I wanted to see how long I could go without like bringing up the fact that I knew who he was.
Whoa, you didn't acknowledge that you were both in this improv drop-in class?
No, and I knew, and he knew. I think we were both like trying to play it cool, like,
Okay, got it. Like,
But I
hey, I
think,
don't remember you, and this is
Mhm.
all new, and
Yes,
yeah, okay, all right.
exactly. And I think it was around like date 4 or something like that.
Now,
But
have
I
you
don't know.
guys have you
Hmm?
said I love you to each other or no?
Yes.
Okay, you
Yeah,
have. Who said it first?
he did.
Nice. I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move. Uh, this is
I think
exciting. This is
yeah.
exciting.
So anyway, this is the gift that I got for him, and I know he's not watching,
Okay,
but
great.
I got this is it's a mug that has like a statue. There's a bar that was our first date that has this like full structure that you can walk into. It's like
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a
yeah, the
classic
bar
like
is the
Hollywood
shape.
spot.
Yeah, the bar is the shape of like what is this, a keg? No.
Yes, I've actually shot in that bar. We
Ooh,
shot this thing called Designated Driver, me and Rob Riggle.
yes.
And so yeah, that's a great, and now you found that. That's so sweet. It's so nice. And do you think he will wait, he got that for you, we got him that for him?
I'm giving this to him.
Okay, great.
And he's not
Do you think that he will do
like
you think
it.
he'll well
He
no, give you
better.
something equal give you something
Oh.
equally as thoughtful?
I'm not sure. And I'm not even sure if we're doing gifts or anything. I know we're gonna like go back to the bar and kind of do some of the things that we did like early on in our dating.
I love that.
But I don't know. I'm not really sure. And then if I'm gonna suss it out, if it seems like he's not gonna do gifts, then I'm not gonna do gifts, and I'll save this for Valentine's Day.
Okay, well, I will say this though.
Yes.
That gift is a perfect gift that is not overwhelming if he's not doing gifts. Like, and
Yes.
I mean that in the best possible way,
Yeah.
because it's like it's cementing a moment. It's not like, oh, I made you a diamond necklace, or it's like you're
Yeah.
not overwhelming them with a gift. And it's always tricky to find that like balance of like, what do you get? June and I often don't go full bore into gifting each other
Mhm.
stuff at Christmas. We try to find like fun stuff or little things, and you want to find that balance because you never want somebody to feel guilty
Yeah.
or for not like stepping up. But I love this. Congratulations on a year.
Oh, thank
That
you.
is amazing.
Thank you.
It was June's birthday yesterday.
Yes. What did you do?
Well, it was raining here in California. I don't know if you know about this, people that are not in California. We are in the middle of what do they call it? What is
El
that?
Nino? El
No,
Nino
it's like
2?
called like a boom storm or some like oh gosh,
I
it's
don't know.
damn, people have been using a term. It's like it's a really scary storm.
It's weird. It's weird that that Hubel burned up when it was raining
When it
because
was
the
so
rain could have
wet.
put him out. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way.
Bomb cyclone is what it's called.
Oh, bomb cyclone.
A
Okay. Cool.
bomb cyclone. Yeah. So but yeah, so what I got June, I got her a bunch of different things. I tried to do a full day. Like one of the things that we do, we have kids, obviously. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing back breakfast in bed. I'm getting the kids to write cards. I'm doing it up the right way. I'm trying to get everything done. But I did get her a gift. And the gift that I got, besides the little gifts that I got her throughout the day,
Sure.
but the big gift, and I have no idea how this is it was received very well. I just have
Okay.
no idea how this is gonna go over. I got June tickets to go see Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, at the Microsoft Theater.
Oh,
We
that's
are going-
amazing.
We are going to see Tyler Henry.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
he is like a psychic. And I don't
Yeah.
know if you've seen his show, but like his whole idea is like he connects with the dead, speaks for them. It's not
Mhm.
like he predicts your future. He
Mhm.
doesn't really, there's something about it. Like I'm skeptic as fuck, but I'm also trying to be open
Mhm.
to things as well. And I would say that watching that show, I'm like, okay, there's enough here that make me feel like, okay, he's not pulling the wool over my eyes. Like there's one episode where he goes to visit a celebrity
Mhm.
and he's like, nothing. I got nothing here. Sorry.
That's
And
cool.
the guy's like, yeah, okay. He's like, I didn't think you would because I don't really have anybody that close to me that died.
Yeah.
And then somebody like Moby, he was a super skeptic, and Moby's like, this guy's not going to work. I know it's not going to work. No one knows
Yeah,
anything.
Paul, do your impression of Moby.
Hey. I mean, I don't know. My impression, I wish I had a good impression. I should have a good
Oh.
impression of Moby.
I don't even know what he sounds like, but I thought
know,
you would
that's
have
what I was
something.
I always am bumping into Moby, which is
Really,
odd
yeah.
because we were two bald men and to be in the same spot so many times, and we never acknowledge each other. We
Mm.
literally, Moby and I. So I have an interesting story with Moby. I'll walk into that in a second. I'll just explain the end here. So Tyler Henry goes to Moby. Moby's like, this is not going to work. I'm not with this guy. And then this guy blows Moby out of the water. Moby's like, this stuff is not on the internet. This stuff is not something I've ever talked about. This is all private. And it was like a big deal. Like Moby was shook to his core. Now, I don't know how you translate a one-on-one experience to a giant theater. That's like where they have the ESPYs and like the Microsoft Theater is a giant venue. I don't know if he's like feeling something and he pulls people out of the crowd. I don't know if it's like a Tony Robbins thing. Oof. It's going to be intense. I will tell you this much. Again, I'm like, do I believe it? Do I not believe it? I don't know. And here's the thing.
It's not for you. It's a gift.
Not for me. It's not. Of course, I'm just saying, am I open to it? Like, because I know people are like, oh, you're not this. But I would say, my friend is a makeup artist. She was working on a client who was on that show, Tyler's show. She was waiting out in the garage while Tyler and the celebrity did their thing. And as Tyler left, he just stopped and he said the name of someone in her family that had passed and had like an amazing interaction with her. It was not like vague. It wasn't like, I'm seeing an old man. It was like, here is a name. Here's what's going on. Boom.
And this was off camera.
Off camera. See, and she was, not
more legitimacy. I feel like
I do too, because it's also like, it wasn't like he was going around meeting people. It wasn't like everyone was crowding around him. Like he beelined towards her. Yeah. That's what it was. He beelined towards her to talk to her off camera, not on the show. So
I feel for Tiny Henry because I imagine it's like really a lot of voices coming at him especially if he's in this big amphitheater. I really do worry about what it's like inside his brain.
Well, because Tyler Henry seems like a very slight gentleman. I like him. Like he just seems like I don't want to overwhelm him. He actually built for himself like a cave, like a cave of solitude in his garage, like a dark space with mirrors where he's able to like commune better, like based on some mystic art that he was dealing with. Again, I've watched a lot of these episodes because I watched stuff with June, and I'm going to say that I'm excited. I'm excited for my experience. I don't know what I'm getting. Right. It is noisy. I
had a Tyler Henry experience this Christmas because I was driving to meet my family in like some small town in California. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm listening to Freedom. Lauren Lapkus is talking about how she would want to meet Tyler Henry. And my car starts kind of like vibrating a little bit. I look up and there's a billboard for Tyler Henry in one of these small like California towns doing some show. It was very, very weird that happened. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I like that. I like all of this. Let's see. We're going to come back January 14th. We're going to come back after that. I'll talk about my Tyler Henry experience. We'll get into all that. We're not talking about Brian Tyree Henry, who is the star of Atlanta and Bullet Train, a great actor in the movie called Causeway. This is Brian. We pop up a picture of this kid. Pop up so people know what he looks like, because I think it's, or I can do it too.
The only time I've ever like interacted with somebody that was a like a medium or something like that, it was on Insta.
Oh, really?
And this woman, she does like readings and stuff on Instagram, and she was like, oh, there's somebody new here, and she was going through all the names of the people that were watching her live Insta. See, he's so cute.
Yeah,
Tyler Henry. And
he's a cute little kid. He looks a little bit like a Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he looks like a Culkin. Look, okay.
Oh, look at that. You see, like I'm saying, there's an energy here.
Yeah.
By the way, as I'm pulling it up, Molly, what I'm seeing over here is something outlandish, which is Paul Giamatti is in a Verizon commercial.
I'm sorry, what?
Hold on. I need to.
Okay, we need to pull that up.
I need to like find this immediately. There's so many things. I have to even go back to the. All right. As Einstein. Paul Giamatti is Einstein. Right, we got to pull this up here. Hold on. This is. Okay,
so this woman, I'll tell you this as you're pulling that up. This woman pulls me into her. She like asks me to join her in her Instagram story. Whatever, live. And she goes, She's like trying to read me, tell me about my past lives, which were interesting, but I don't really buy into it. Birdie runs into frame and she's like, like she gets hit like with a wave, and she was like, who is he? He is giving me a lot of energy. You two are very connected. You've known each other for lives and lives.
Whoa.
I'm like, well, you know, her name is Birdie. And yes, people often think she's a boy because she kind of has like a male energy. And she's like, no, you've known her. She was your grandfather.
What?
And then she was like, was your grandfather like a really like, you know, and then a list of things that a grandfather could be. And
Right.
I don't know him to be that way at all. And it made me feel like I need to close the doors when I'm changing in my apartment because I
I
don't
know
want
this is the thing that I feel like all the time. Like I'd like to believe in all this stuff, but you know, there are certain things like I don't want everyone. Maybe you have to call it in. Maybe you have to call in that energy.
Maybe, but here's the thing: is I do believe that I have known Birdie for other lifetimes, but I do not believe that she is my grandfather.
Okay,
so
could be somebody's grandfather.
Somebody's grandfather. I don't know. I mean, I think that we've had relationships in the past where maybe she was more the authority in the relationship and the dynamic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you guys have like changed. Okay, I like that. Okay,
yeah.
so
you got him.
I know I love all of this. I want to get some more dirt on Tyler Henry.
Yes.
I want not dirt. I want to like understand what people's thoughts are on Tyler Henry. As people say, yes. Look, I've watched the Penn and Teller Bullshit, great series that was on Showtime years and years ago. If you can find it, you should watch it. It's great. They do a great episode on mediums, and Penn and Teller have led me to believe that like everybody is a huckster. Everyone's trying to, you know, sell you something, do something. Clearly I bought tickets to a show, so he sold me something. But I also am a believer in energy. Maybe there's energy. Maybe there's something there. Cold reading is an amazing skill. I think there are these things. So maybe it is, maybe there is something, I don't know. And I also think that there is, look, here's a skeptic brain. Skeptic brain tells me that when I tell you the story about me meeting a medium, I'm telling you what I remember, which is not exactly what actually happened. It's how I felt. It's how I made it feel like. So if I'm that makeup person, I'm telling you that he pointed at me. He said my name. He said this thing, but maybe it was not exactly as it happened. Speaking of which, I don't know if you've seen this show, but I'm going to highly recommend it to everybody here in the audience. Paul T. Goldman, brand new Peacock show directed by my buddy, Jason Wolner. Jason Wolner directed Human Giant. He also co-wrote a majority of the Human Giant sketches. He directed most of Eagleheart, was the showrunner of Eagleheart. He directed Borat 2. And he has also directed segments on Nathan For You, including the one where Nathan walks between the two buildings, as among other things. Jason is hands down one of the funniest, most interesting people, a real great director, great comedy mind. And he did the impossible. He made a sequel to Borat that was very funny. So Jason is finally doing his own thing. This thing is called Paul T. Goldman. Paul T. Goldman is a brand new show on Peacock where Jason gets himself wrapped up in the life of this man who believes he is at the center of a criminal conspiracy. Now, Jason has been doing this documentary for 10 years. I remember when Jason went to go visit him in Florida 10 years ago. I remember him on vacation with me bringing Paul T. Goldman's book, because Paul T. Goldman believes that not only did his ex-wife set out to con him out of all of his money, but also she was a part of a giant prostitution ring and might have had murders committed. It is a wild story. I can't even describe what the show is in the sense that it's so layered, but it's true crime. It's a documentary. It's a documentary of a documentary. It's a parody of true crime. It is a piece about our identity, who we are, what we believe, the stories that we tell ourselves. This show is fantastic. The first 3 are right now out on Peacock. It is truly incredibly funny, but also as the layers of the onion peel back, you will be completely flabbergasted by what goes on. It's on TV, City TV in Canada as well. Thank you. So check out Paul T. Goldman. You know now the comedy lineage that it comes from, and people like Nathan Fielder and Tim Heidecker, Tom Sharpling, Julie Klausner, all are huge fans of this. And I've been watching him work on this slowly but surely for the last 10 years. Seth Rogen is a producer, and so is Megan Ellison from Annapurna. So this is like it's a great project. And you can get a little taste of Paul T. Goldman because he was on Jimmy Kimmel with Seth Rogen this past week. So anyway, I really want to plug Jason's show. It is phenomenal. I don't want to build it up too much. I don't want to tell you too much after that, but there's that. Let's talk about Moby. We'll get into Paul Giamatti. Okay. So Moby and I have an interesting history. I have a nice relationship with Moby in the sense that we're not enemies. I've never done anything to upset Moby, but we also don't know each other that well. So it's like this interesting moment of like when we acknowledge each other. Maybe I'll walk it back here. By the way, can I talk about Moby? Because Moby is kind of canceled, isn't he? Is that what he is? Oh, the show is called Paul T. Goldman. Well, I'll just tell you. I'll tell you my story with Moby. I'm a bald man. People confuse me for other bald men. That's just a fact, right? I am Rob Corddry to some people. I am Dave Keckner to others. I am Moby. Bald men are all one. We are all put together in a big pot. Yes, some people are shocked right now that I am not Moby. I'm sorry if you've been watching, thinking you're watching Moby's live stream. I didn't mean to con you, but I am not Moby. But however, I have had run-ins with Moby. Now, my first run-in with Moby was through my friend Jake. Jake was a real New York City kid, knew all the cool places, knew all the cool things to do. And Moby was having a salon. And he's like, come over to Moby's house tonight. And the only thing you have to do when you go over to Moby's house is you have to perform. So a salon basically is like this idea where you would go and everyone would show off their talent, whether it's poetry, writing, playing music, doing jokes, whatever it was. We came into Moby's loft apartment. I'm super young at this point. I'm excited to see Moby, who at, this point in his career is like, couldn't be bigger. And I, walk in and it's one of those apartments that when you walk in, everyone's kind of looking at you. And now I've been in a couple of these spaces in my life. The old UCB, when we got kicked out of one space, the bathroom was like behind the stage. So sometimes if you went to the bathroom and you went a little bit late and you had to walk back to your seat, you'd have to walk through the stage. So whether or not you're performing or going back to your seat, it was an embarrassing situation. It's the worst moment when everyone looks at you. So we open the door and we walk in, everyone's staring at us. They know that we have entered the salon, and we've entered the salon late, not a salon like you get your hair cut. And at that point I did have enough hair, so that wouldn't, it would be acceptable. We walk into this event and Moby says, well, now that you're here, you must perform, which we knew going into it, but it was like, you can't be here unless you will perform. So I performed and I did a bit, and it was it's a really dark bit that I don't even think I could do here, but I played it very straight. And a lot of it was looking for my young daughter, who I believe was kidnapped. And so I never really let on that it was a bit. I just did this character who was looking for his lost daughter. And after the salon was over, people came up to me and were very sweet to me. And they were like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? How's your daughter? And then I didn't want to tell people it was a joke because they felt so earnest, and I was so young, and I was embarrassed. I didn't have a kid. I was barely old enough to pay my own rent. And so I then created this lie that I did have a kid because everyone believed it. So now I'm like walking around this apartment saying like, yes, well, we're hopeful. I don't know. I'm trying to get out of conversations. I'm trying to be non-committal. I'm not building on the lie. I'm just kind of like letting people say stuff, and I'm just kind of pushing the ball back in their court because I don't know how to act. I felt like I betrayed them if I would tell them, no, I actually didn't. I don't have a lost daughter. That was a comedy bit. And I was doing comedy bits like that. I was doing comedy bits at that time where it was like a show called Robot TV, which was TV for robots by robots, where the intention was to walk the audience. The intention was to alienate the audience. So that was like the level of stuff I was doing and enjoying, like at that point. People said like Dog TV. No, Meow TV was a show I did for Purina. That was the intention of that was to be one of the biggest shows of all time. Was it? It was not. So that's the first time I met Moby, but he was lovely. He got that it was a comedy bit. And then again, bald man, white man. I'm in a space. Moby's in a space. We see each other. Now, I think that you can't have more than two bald men in a space at one time, unless you're like, commenting on NFL football. And so we kind of just like, we see each other, but now it's getting more and more common over the last couple of years, more and more common. I moved out to LA. I live very close to his restaurant that he now sold. And then one night, my friend takes me up to the mountains to do this hike with wolves. These wolves that have been rehabilitated, or these wolves that basically people have, basically, long story short, people get a wolf. They think, oh, this is going to be cool. I'll have like a really badass dog. And then they realize like once that wolf gets a little bit older, they become a wolf and they destroy everything. And the city is like, we're going to kill the wolf. And this company comes in and kind of takes the wolves and rehabilitates them. And they're an amazing organization. They're up in the mountains and they do a lot of therapy with these wolves and kids and things. And I'm not doing it justice, but if you're talking about like a niche thing, this is the most niche thing you could possibly do. So one night we were doing a full moon walk with the wolves. And fucking Moby's there. And I'm talking like 15 people are on this walk with the wolves. But we don't acknowledge each other. And then I'm like, have I done something to alienate Moby? Because now we're not at a party. Now we're not in they're not in a large space. We're in a small space and we're not acknowledging each other. And then the next time I see him, he acknowledges me like no problem. But I'm like, well, why didn't you acknowledge me at the very small event when we could actually have connected? But then you see me at another event and then we do it. So he plays me in a way where I don't know what's going on with Moby and I, because sometimes we're not best of buds. We acknowledge each other. And other times, hi. Maybe he thought I was a mirror. Maybe he didn't have his glasses. All fine things. But I was dressed as a wall. Okay, so that is my. I don't even know if that's a good payoff with the Moby story, but that's just something. Okay, so now let's see. All right, so now let's quickly just see this. That just blew my mind. As I was searching for pictures of Tyler Henry, I came up on this, which is. I don't begrudge anybody to do their cell phone commercials as somebody who did a cell phone commercial. But am I shocked? A little bit shocked. But you know what? Maybe I should think about it like this. Paul Giamatti doing that Verizon commercial gets more Paul Giamatti in independent movies because he could probably make more money doing that. So he doesn't have to do like Big Fat Liar 2. He can actually go off, and Big Fat Liar, by the way, great movie. Better than you would expect. Frankie Muniz, a starring vehicle. Great. But I won't make fun of it. I'm not making fun of it. I am shocked that I guess what I'm shocked at. I don't know. I'm not shocked at it. I'm not shocked at it. I think I was shocked I think I was it was taken away. I was shocked by it. But you know what was the worst thing ever? It was, my gosh, who was hosting the Academy Awards? I want to say, oh man, I'm gonna forget it now. But here was this moment where J.K. Simmons wins an Academy. Oh, it was Neil Patrick Harris. You know what? I can't. This is going to be a one and done show as far as like I can't re-air any of these stories. Okay. So Neil Patrick Harris is hosting the Oscars, and J.K. Simmons wins for Whiplash. And as soon as he wins, like Neil Patrick Harris like comes out and goes, dun, 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 farmers. And I was like, oh, that's kind of classless. Like JK been working his ass off. JK is like amazing actor, brings the heat across the board. This guy wins an Academy Award. Like the first time in his career, he's getting an Academy Award, and you bring up his Farmers commercial. Like that is at the Oscars. Like, oh man, that bummed me out. That bummed me out. Yeah, right. That's kind of like a rough move to kind of be like, yeah, fuck you. Like or like, oh yeah, you. I don't know. I just feel like, look, we all do things for money, and we have to. But and you try to bring your best. I'm gonna tell you this much. I've now turned around on this Paul Giamatti commercial. Paul Giamatti's doing his best. I'm watching him in there. He's doing a character. He's got a whole thing going on. And that's it. And look, like I said, I've done my own commercials. I've done them all. But yeah, like, okay, well, this is, oh yeah, okay. There's a lot of anti Neil Patrick Harris stuff going on there. But yes, keep your fucking Farmers commercial out of your fucking mouth. Do I know if that was improvised or written? I don't know, but I imagine there's a group of people backstage that say, here's a bunch of jokes. And as someone who's hosted shows like that, I've hosted the Critics Awards, Critics Choice Awards. At a certain point, you got to like play to your crowd. Like you got to like, you hit up, and you don't really take hard digs at anybody. I made a joke that I thought was incredibly benign at the Critics Choice Awards. Rob and I hosted the Critics Choice Awards, and I thought it was benign as hell. It was for someone who wasn't in the room. And what I got feedback from that person, and it gutted me. It gutted me in a terrible way. I was like, oh, I don't want to be that person. But that's the thing. And you're in the moment, you're joking around, you forget like everyone's watching, everyone's being there. You forget that moment, and you have to have that wherewithal as a host to be like, I'm not going to do that. Now, that was a joke that I prepared that I thought was good. And I thought was like, hey, that's a little bit on the line, but not really. It's like, it's not really even that bad. But wow, I got it. I can't say it because if I say it, then if any of you bump into me on the street, I'll tell you the joke. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was just a slight joke about a movie that came out, and it was a movie that clearly wasn't going to get any Oscar attention. And I made a joke like, and surprisingly, that's not getting any Oscars. Like that was basically like the line was it would be along the lines of like, oh my gosh, I think I can give you almost all of it. I want a Vander hologram. Let me hear the Kroll joke. Write it out. I'm going to say, all right, the joke was like this. I was like, tonight we are celebrating actors and actresses who have played, inspirational soccer coaches, grieving husbands, brilliant scientists, and mathematicians. And oh wait, oh fuck now. Sorry, like I can't really do it without spoiling the joke. I know the joke and I can't do it. But they basically said we're celebrating actors who have played this, that, and this, and none of them have done this. And what none of them had done was something that an actor had done in a movie that wouldn't be nominated for an award. That's like that's the skeleton of the joke. Not terrible. It wasn't like that person is bad, but it was like, of course that person wasn't nominated. And it was a real bummer because I love that person too. And I thought I was like skating around it, but apparently it really bummed him out. And that bummed me out. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm going to put this up here. This is the Nick Kroll joke. Oh, sorry, Evander hologram. That's rough. That's rough. I'm not going to read that out loud, but yeah. I will tell you, I did have an interesting run-in. Again, I can't talk about any of this shit. I shouldn't talk about any of this. I can't do it. I can't do it. None of it. None of it. All right. What else do I have to show you? Molly, what's that other? Well, I may want to save those two other moments. Those two other moments for when Rob comes back.
Oh, the asshole one.
Yeah. Wait.
Am I the asshole?
Oh yeah. Am I the asshole? And I think I want to save the hammer. Thank you, Crawford. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything in trouble yet. I mean, the most I've said is that like sometimes Moby acknowledges me and sometimes he doesn't. It's back. I'm getting back. I'm getting in there. I'm like, we're here. We're hanging out. We're having a good time.
What's the worst thing you've ever done in your life, Paul?
Oh, the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Wow. Let me see. By the way, Molly, do you make resolutions? Do you make a resolution?
I make resolutions every damn day of my life. I don't need to do it on one single day. Sorry.
No, I agree with that. You know what
Yeah.
I do instead? And I haven't done it yet because I haven't had time to. I like to look back at the year, not via Instagram, not posting a bunch of humble brag pictures, but I like to go back through the year and just think about each month and what things I accomplished, things that I'm proud of, and write all of that down. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't get a chance to like look back. Like we're always looking ahead. Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to be? What's the next big thing? And the truth is like, let's also just celebrate the end of the year. Like, what did I do? What did I accomplish? And I feel like that's something that we don't do that much. So I'm like, I normally, because my birthday is January 31st, it's in the month of January. By about January 31st, I'm able to sit down. It's on my birthday often. I sit there and I look at the space of the year and I think, okay, what have I done? What am I happy about? What do I want to do? But not like a pressurized thing. Do people here in the chat, anyone make any things here?
Daisy Barksdale is going to learn how to make hard-boiled eggs. And you know what? I think that's wonderful.
I love that. It's smart, right?
I don't know how to make hard-boiled eggs because I don't eat eggs. But I think that that's a good...
Wait, you don't eat eggs like as a life choice or like as a allergic choice?
Yeah, I find the texture weird.
Okay, well, are you like... I will tell you that there is a secret to making hard-boiled eggs. There's a secret to making hard-boiled eggs. You got to get that cold water working too. You can't overdo it. You got to get that soft center. I don't like a hard center. I grew up my entire life with a very hard centered hard-boiled egg. And then when you have like a little bit of softer one, it has a little bit more flavor. Life is good.
How do you use this cold water, Paul?
So basically you boil the eggs, you get them ready to go. And then when they are reaching their point of maximum boil, whatever, 2 to 3 minutes, or I don't want to give you the exact timings because I would just Google the timings.
Sure.
Then you dump them into a pot of ice water. So you put a bunch of ice in there, and then that's how they kind of I don't know what it does.
It stops the cooking.
It stops the cooking, and it just kind of boom, like locks it, and they taste better. They taste a lot better. Exact time is 6 minutes.
The same way that when you're washing your hair or blow drying your hair, you go from hot and then you do a cold burst and it keeps it from puffing out. So that's probably what happens with eggs.
I would imagine that's almost identical to eggs.
I think so.
People say add salt to boiling water. You could do that. I do that too. I don't know what that does. I think it flavors like pasta a little bit. If you have some New Year's resolutions, let me know because we're going to go look in here. I mean, I'm a big believer in the cold plunge, the cold pool. So I like that. But wait, there was something else I was going to talk about in regards to, yes, cold water closes the cuticles in your hair so it's less frizzy. Vinegar, you have to peel eggs. These are look, this is an egg show now, a purely egg show. Okay, there was a couple other things that I wanted to talk about that we did, what we had fun, the break. I'm trying to think of all the that's what I want to talk to you about. Molly.
Yes.
It's a hard reservation to get, but here in Los Angeles, there's a place called Tam O'Shanter.
Yes.
It is a prime rib place. It's the oldest restaurant in Hollywood. It has stayed the same. It looks very traditional. It's old school. It's in Glendale. It's across from a giant Costco. Everything has changed around it but this place. And I had heard many years ago that Tam O'Shanter does a great Christmas thing where they have carolers come around, and it's very Christmas and very festive. And so a couple of years ago, I started making a reservation to go a couple days before Christmas, get me in the mood for the holidays. And I made my reservation back in October. And then you also made a reservation.
I
You went
did.
the day after me, I think, or maybe a couple days after me.
Yeah.
How was it?
I did have reservations to go the day after
Oh,
you.
okay. But did not go.
I ended up going to CPK.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. What made you guys switch?
Honestly, it was like looking at the menu. I'm not a big like red meat eater.
Neither am I.
Yeah, and I know that you're not, and I know that that there are other options on the menu. I think it was just a matter of like driving out there with a combination of kind of some trauma, dealing with some trauma around holidays.
Got it. I understand
So
this.
we tried to do something that was not very triggering.
I love that. And look, we all have to deal with our own holidays
Yes.
things. This has been interesting because you're right. This is not a menu that I would normally go to. I like the experience of it. I like having people dressed up in like 19th
Yeah,
century costumes,
that's
singing
fun.
songs. And I brought, like it's kind of like dinner theater in a sense.
Mhm.
The food is very good. Again, I'm not eating prime rib that much, but they have some good apps and you can mix it all up and everything like that. Now I'm looking at some of these goals here. I would love to see what we're seeing.
Oh, P&W Paloma's working on learning how to make dresses. So
I
it looks
like
like
that.
they started doing this in the pandemic, and they're picking it back up. I love this. Keep me posted. I want to hear how this goes, because I got into sewing a couple years ago, and that was pretty tough.
Wait, now Molly, did you hear about Tim
Oh yeah,
from me or Freedom?
You know what? I had heard it from somebody else altogether.
Wow.
But
Oh, wow.
I think
Okay.
maybe the idea of like hearing it from multiple places made me interested and made me make the reservation to begin with.
Okay, here we go. I'm resolved to be more healthy.
I
Pretty
love
standard.
that.
But I like that. That's a nice one that doesn't gonna knock you can live up to that. This one,
Absolutely.
use a Disney ticket I paid for but couldn't use at Christmas because all the flights were canceled.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. We went to Disney a little bit before Christmas with the kids and it was really fun. Disneyland. Okay, we got this one. Ride a bike, swim.
Wow.
She's a single 42-year-old mama, an empty nester, now have some time and gusto to do so. My childhood was I played the fifth. I like this. This is great.
That's
All right, so
cool.
yeah, I
That's
love this
really
idea.
cool.
I think that like there are certain things to like just experience, and I feel like goals can be so heavy. Like I want to do this, I want to do that, and I feel like that was I like this. I'm looking through here. Brissy Joe. Let's talk to you, Brissy Joe. So Brissy Joe, called in, made a special video for the live event that we were doing, and he called us for some advice. Brissy, how was that advice? Anything? Or we'll see. We'll see what Brissy says. Now, I'll tell you this much. All right. So let me give you some tea. People want me to spill some tea. I'll spill some tea. So here we are hosting this live 2-day event. It's been something that Rob and I have been working on, building towards. Molly and I have been cranking on this up until, this Friday live show. Everything has been working so smoothly. Booking guests always kind of a hard thing. It's the reason why we don't book that many guests here on the show anymore, just because it's like how many emails, there's a lot to do. So we wanted to have Jerry O'Connell up here because Jerry is in many respects like a classic friend zone guest. Like Jerry is this. And when we were taking the show to the next level, we're like, we got to have Jerry. So much so that I'm in a movie called The Binge 2. It was like a holiday movie. It's on Hulu. It's actually very funny. And I was on there to promote. I went on Jerry's show to promote The Binge, but part of the show was also promoting this live event, the Celebrity Yard Sale. So I'm on Jerry's talk show. Jerry comes into my dressing room before. Jerry and I are pals. We're hanging out. We're talking about what are you going to bring? Because I'm there like a couple days before we're doing the live show. I'm like, what are you going to bring? He's like, I'm thinking about it. And I'm telling him it's so cool. We're going to be on this stage. It's a big deal. And then when we're on the actual show, they're like, Jerry, are you going to be with your dogs this time? And I say, almost quickly, just cutting off one of the hosts, I say, oh, he can't bring the dogs. We're going to be in a real studio this time. He's going to actually, oh, sorry. One of the hosts says, hey, Jerry, where are you going to call in from this time? And I was like, he's not going to call in from anywhere. He's going to actually be in the studio for the first time ever. So it's showtime. Now, Molly, I do want you to come on here to talk about this for a second. It's showtime. We have Jerry booked. We know that Jerry's going to be a great first night guest. What is he going to do? What is he going to bring? I've emailed Jerry. Molly has been CC'd on the emails. I've texted Jerry. I've heard back. Yes, he's in. The first text I sent was to Jerry. Jerry's like, I'm there for you. Whatever you need. I'm off that week. I'm there. So, Molly, take it away from your perspective, because I will jump in with mine. I am hosting the show. He's the second guest of the night. We are just figuring out the running of the show, the movement of the show. Kumail was our first guest. I hear in my ear, Jerry's not here. And then I quickly hear, right after that, Jerry's not coming. So now the way the show has been booked is everyone's got this little slot. We have this time. We have these bits. We have everything is working in tandem for these moments. And then I hear Molly is taking over. So now, Molly, tell me what was going on.
That's not Jerry calling me, I promise. Has anybody seen Jerry since? Do we know he's okay?
We hope he's okay. I know that he's okay because he's in my fantasy football league and he's tweeting or he's texting a lot.
I had nothing to do with Jerry dropping out. I promise. It had nothing to do with me wanting to be on the show with you guys. I don't know why I had my makeup done. I don't know what. It's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, because Jerry said he got locked inside of his car. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre. But now, when do you know? Because now you are Molly. Just so people know, like what Molly does here every week is amazing. She's my partner. We do this thing. But what she was doing on that show was like next level. Like we were basically communicating silently because I had no real way to communicate with Molly, but they could communicate with me, and she knew what I wanted, and we were really in tandem to get this show going. So when does it go south for you?
I think probably just about the time that you heard Jerry's not coming is Jerry's not coming. Jerry emailed both you and I maybe 7 minutes before his go time. So he was supposed to be there like an hour previous.
Sure.
We'll give them a pass because it's Jerry.
We told people just come as long as you're there and ready to go. You can walk right on.
So it was right before he was supposed to go on. I think Kumail was still with you.
Right. Yes, I heard it in my ear during Kumail.
Yes, and so I was like backstage. They pulled the makeup artist came and put crap on my face, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going on. I grabbed a little item in case like I had to give an item away. I don't know. It was so much panic.
There were certain things that were working on a schedule that we needed to kind of fulfill, like things we need to check off. Yeah.
And they took my phone from me, which is like my baby. I was really, it was difficult. And I did feel like I know that I didn't poison Jerry and I know that I didn't poison Rob, but part of me feels like maybe that was happening. Somehow I'm hurting these men so that I can be front and center.
Look, you know what, Molly? You know what? I'm not going to fault you. Oh, whoa. Stop.
No. Paul.
Whoa.
Paul, I have news for you.
Yes.
She's trying to get between us, Paul.
Okay, Rob.
Paul. Look, I've been sitting here since the show started. My light fell down.
Oh my gosh.
I've been sitting here since the show started at 5 o'clock.
Oh my god.
Trying to get into the stream to
She's
resume
locking you out.
Thursdays with Rob and Paul. And geez, this thing keeps falling over. You know me, I love to come on here. I love to talk about who's the boss.
Yeah, well, Molly didn't even have, Molly said, maybe we should move over to Charles in Charge. She got very excited about that. Yeah,
I want to talk about Perfect Strangers because I have a really good balcony.
Paul, can you not see what's happening? All of this is because of this other person.
Well, this is interesting because
This is
I
our
started the show.
Yoko. This is our Yoko, Paul.
I started the show because we started the show and I said, Molly,
Mhm.
is Rob going to be here?
Mm.
And she said to me very seriously before the show started, she said, Paul, I have some terrible news. We think Rob is dead. And I
Mhm.
said, what? And she said, Rob was doing his New Year's Eve, Rob's big blowout, where you collect all the fireworks from all the kids in Pasadena,
Yeah.
and you confiscate them
Yeah.
in an attempt to create the best fireworks display.
Yeah. It's
And
legal.
she said
That's legal.
that is legal. And you have like a citizen's arrest license or whatever.
Yeah, they're all still being detained. We got to sort it out.
And so she said that you put all the fireworks into your shed,
Mhm.
and I guess there was some sort of, it was dry in your shed. There was some sort of a malfunction, and then your body was not found. That's what we heard.
Okay. Paul.
Rob, brighter. Make the light brighter.
I did him a favor, though, to be honest, because
Paul.
there was an opportunity for me to make sure that Rob was in the shed. But I made sure that he wasn't, so that he was safe. So you're welcome, Rob.
All of this is so obvious, Paul. Look, I mean, if you look back from the very beginning, how many times has Molly, Happy New Year, by the way, everybody.
Hi, Happy New Year. How are you?
You guys, the viewers, you fucking idiots. I'm mad at both of you. How many times has Molly, played videos that make fun of me on here? Like
she
those
played
little,
it a lot.
She played it a lot. You guys have.
Rob is dead.
But there's a new face on the scene.
Just like that. Just like that.
We did not plan that. I have not seen that ever in my life. The fact that was ready to go as soon as I started to say this, Paul, she's trying to kill me. She's trying to ruin this whole deal.
Now you really are.
Everybody in the chat says they've been saying R.I.P. Rob.
Yeah, R.I.P.
like
Rob.
a long
that
time.
was we thought that you were dead. I mean, that was it.
I'm not dead. She locked me in my fireworks shed, Paul.
Oh my God, this
with
is
all
really
the kids.
upsetting.
I have not heard my Miranda rights, so I'm going to say nothing.
Oh my God,
Paul, think back to the moment on the show when we heard that Jerry was not going to be there.
Yeah.
Who was ready to go in full makeup?
Ready to go.
Had an item. Had her hair done, had her wardrobe on.
She's player, Rob.
Paul, she is an opportunist.
You are right.
Waiting in the wings.
Oh,
anybody,
man.
any one of those schools.
She flew me here to Vancouver and booked a fake TV show. I don't even know if the show I'm filming is real now. Now I think the whole thing is to get me out of the way so she could take over. And by the way,
that is so funny. And I kept on seeing her with your daughter posting pictures on Instagram saying like,
I'm the new
two
Rob
mommies
now.
two mommies are better, and she was like, who needs a dad when you got a Molly? But she's like, I see the way she puts it, like it's like a mommy, but it's like Molly.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm the new Rob.
Happy birthday to your beautiful wife, Paul.
Thank you.
June Diane Rayfield.
I would be very aware of poison around June from this person.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Sorry,
right. Well, no, but
person.
Well, this is all right. I'm gonna look into all this. Rob, there's so much I want to talk to you about.
We have a lot to talk about.
I want to we're gonna get back to that Jerry O'Connell story, but but Molly, can you pull up the Thanksgiving thing? Because do you remember this? All right. Thanksgiving, a special guest at Thanksgiving. It was like a Twitter thing from maybe the second to last show. It was definitely, it's just a picture and it was in our Google Slides. I'm going to look and see if I can find it. Sorry, Rob, because I'm setting this up.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Molly what it was. Hold on. It's, this is good. Rob, how are you doing? And what skyline is that?
I'm great. This is the Vancouver skyline. So did you know that if you flush the toilet in Canada, it goes around the wrong way? Did you know that?
I thought that was in Australia.
No, it's up here too. You poop in the toilet and your poop goes, normally your poop goes this way. And then your poop goes whoop, and it flies out of the toilet. Here it goes.
Rob, have you been watching the show?
I have not been watching the show.
Because Talking about
Whoa.
poop coming out of the toilet. This
Okay.
is the gift that I got my children. Here, hold on one second. Let me get the plunger.
I haven't seen you in so long. Well,
I know, it's been
I haven't seen you
since
since
we did a show.
Since the big show. Yeah.
All right. So Rob, take how many plunges would you like?
Oh man, this looks awesome. Wait, is this a game or just
it's
like
a game. It's like a Russian roulette game. It's called Flushing Frenzy. I have a different name for it, but
I just want two plunges.
All right, 2 plunges. Ooh, you're safe. I'll take 3.
Oh,
Molly, how many plunges do you want? Molly says 2. Whoa! Did you see what just shot out?
no,
Hold on,
poop.
Rob,
Was
you
it poop?
missed it. It was poop. Hold on, let me get that poop.
I would like to be a lead on a Hallmark movie. Mega
Hold on.
guilty.
There it is.
Whoa!
Get it.
Make it focus
Get in
on the
there,
poop.
right?
Yeah. Whoa. Wait, is that Molly's face on the poop? Who is that?
It's a little poopy.
Oh.
And it's what all kids love to do, which is plunge the toilet and have the poop shoot out.
What a great game. What a great game.
Great game.
So catch me up. I haven't seen the
all right.
show. I just got back to the hotel.
We were just talking. I was starting to talk about like
I heard I heard a little bit of the Jerry thing. I'd love to get involved in that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I want to show you one thing.
But how is the show? Is this the first show that
First show back,
Oh
and
my
it's been a little like it's been fun, but it's been very loose. All right, so Rob, I just wanted to show you this, and I didn't even talk to you about it because I just wanted to see your reaction to it. Like we were talking about.
Yeah.
There's one thing that we talk about a lot on this show, and this is a Thanksgiving thing that happened. But when I saw this, I thought of you. Thanksgiving is a time to spend with friends.
That's what I always say.
And we have 2 friends that spent Thanksgiving together. Molly, is it ready to show? It is this. Young Sheldon and Adnan from the Serial podcast.
What?
Spent Thanksgiving together. Young Sheldon and Adnan. The first stop that Adnan made was to hang with young Sheldon.
This does not make sense.
Fun night with Adnan and his family. And I can't read the entire post right there.
We shut that restaurant down because we couldn't stop talking about everything. I'm struck by how thoughtful, kind, grateful he is. It was an honor to celebrate his new job at Rabia Squared. Auntie, you were missed. Wait, how are these guys friends?
I have no idea that young Sheldon and Adnan are like, boom. It was like, Adnan had just gotten out and he was like, and I think Adnan now is teaching at a college, I believe. But when I saw that, only because of the way that we talk about young Sheldon on the show, I was like, the convergence of those 2. Now, I also marched with young Sheldon with Jane Fonda, and I was arrested. Oh, there he is. This is them again. Some more pictures of their Thanksgiving celebration. That's like the
Are
food.
they? How? That doesn't make any sense. Well, first of all, I have to say I'm a little bit guilty of. I don't know anything about young Sheldon. I don't know this person's name. I don't know how old he is.
His name is Ian.
Okay. What? I'm very guilty of just making fun of the name young Sheldon and the premise of the show.
Yeah.
To me is yes, they're both fairly maligned. To me,
people are saying some of the stuff you might not know about him is that his name is Sheldon. He's young.
What are some other facts about him that I don't know?
People say it would be weirder if you knew a lot about young Sheldon.
Yeah, it would be weird if I suddenly knew like everything about young Sheldon. But he I have just always thought it's funny to have a precursor to
of course.
Yeah, so that's where I'm coming from.
And by the way, young
it always makes me I feel a little bit bad when I see that he's a real person. Of course.
Of course. I mean, and it's just funny to be like, it was just going to be this is like, I'm talking about old bits that I was going to do. Is like, Rob, who did you spend Thanksgiving with? Well, our good friend young Sheldon spent it with Adnan. But anyway, we were talking about, we're doing a little bit of a recap of giving away the car. We're going to find out who won that car and show a picture of them. That was your idea. We're going to find it.
Yeah, we need to connect with the person that won the car. If the person that won the car is not watching this stream, right now, and it's not like, I mean, I have a problem with that.
We gotta, they should. No one has emailed us.
Like,
Thank
no
you.
one's DM'd us. Like, hey,
like, hey, it was so great.
I sure do love this. You know, like, that's the dark side of giving away, being a good person. It has a downside to it where sometimes you don't get the credit that you deserve, and we deserve a lot of credit.
A lot of credit. Now, Rob, I also say I know that you couldn't be here tonight because unfortunately you have been, fortunately, you have been upholding what we know to be true in the government, which is like, we don't need McCarthy in there, and you've been part of this voting block that's been blocking him for 11 times. And thank you for, supporting, a more hardlined conservative thought, and
I recently got involved with the Santos campaign, not even the campaign, the administration, the George Santos
I love
administration.
the George Santos.
Yeah. And so I've been there with George in DC, flying back and forth from Vancouver to DC to manage George.
And you're doing a lot of like, he says, put the stuff on your credit card, he'll pay you back, right?
Absolutely. Like I mean, he's at a place right now where I don't even ask those questions. If he needs money, I give it to him. He's going through a rough time. I know he's going to get me back.
Dude, this George Santos,
man,
I'm like kind of obsessed with it because
I'm obsessed with it. What is your take on this? I have a very specific
I'd love to hear
thing that, I mean, I just think that he is I think he's a spy. I think he is a straight up spy that was put there for spying on people. Like, I think he's either paid by Russia or like Saudi Arabia or somewhere to just be like, just fucking get in there, man. Who cares? Like, we'll say whatever. And then he's just like, why is he sitting next to these people that should not have anything to do with them? Like all those videos. Have you seen the videos of him like in the background, like creeping into conversations and like,
yes, Molly. Like, here's the thing I'll say about him. Like, I think this is a liar who has figured out like, oh yeah, I could, like, it's like that person that you're with is like, oh, I could run for office. And this person like managed to do it because the lies it's not smooth. It's not clever. Like when he said, my mom died on 9/11, and then it came out that she died in 2016.
Dude,
and then
that he had employees that were killed in the Pulse nightclub shooting. He said he had 4 employees that were killed in the Pulse nightclub shooting. Not true.
I don't want to just quote without attributing, but Julie Klausner had the best tweet for his fake animal charity. Julie was wondering why so few cats did he rescue? Like, it was only like I rescued 1,400 dogs and 25 cats. She's like, why so few? If you're lying, why so few cats?
I think probably also what it is that it's not that hard to become a congressman. I don't think it's that hard. I think if you have
an R by your name or a D by your name,
and if you have $1 million and you're in some weird district where I think he ran unopposed, right? There was a person who was a person who actually had been a good member there, but the Republican, like I'm from Long Island, and there's definitely a much more of a Republican turn there. Okay.
And I feel like he just took advantage of that R by his name.
Yeah. I mean, look, whatever. I gotta say, the pictures of him sitting there, like, what? It's so funny to see him like have to go through all of that and then get there. And then this week has just been a fucking shit show.
Did you see him walk down the wrong hallway? He because he started to walk fast, but it was his first day there. So he walked into a dead end because he didn't know where he was going. He just picked up the space and but that to me is like him in a nutshell. It's like, I'm just going to go faster. And he's not addressing anything. It's like, how could you not address this? Every day there's something new. And then today during roll call, they kept on calling Santos. And he's like, McCarthy. He's like, and somebody's like, is that even his name? Does he even have it? Do we know that? Is this the video of it?
Santos.
What?
Sarbanes.
This is like part of the
crazy, because that's not even his name. It's not even his name, I bet. Yeah, it's whatever. It's wild.
I mean, Veep. It's like wild Veep shit. All right, so Rob, let's go briefly about
First
your
of all,
experience of Jerry O'Connell. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I wanted to say to you, congratulations on the show. Because I haven't gotten to say how much fun the whole thing was. And
that was
I'm not
so much fun.
I'm not assuming that everyone here saw it, but it was super fun. What a fucking blast we had just dicking around and giving away a free car with no rules, like really no rules.
What was so fun about it was, and I think that you and I, in the very beginning of this, while we were excited to be able to do this, we were like, is it going to be the show that we do? And I think early on, we had a lot of support from people inside Twitter, and we had a lot of support from people inside Twitch that really allowed us to like execute what we wanted to do, because we like to trust us a little bit. And I feel like we really got a chance to do it. And it was so much fun. And now in a weird way, it's like, oh, we should just always be doing stuff like that over there. It's really fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. And very cool of them to let us do that. And very cool of the Hyundai people.
The Hyundai people were amazing.
To let us do that. Yeah. Like,
and
no one, the only time I felt like they were freaking out is someone wanted us to do, there was a point where they wanted us to do impressions, and someone said, do an impression of drunk Batman. And so I started to do drunk Batman, and because of drinking and driving, the Hyundai people were like, no,
right. Even though you weren't saying I'm going to be driving.
Yeah, no, it was just, they don't want any alcohol mentioned or whatever, but which I totally get.
But that was the only moment of pure panic in the entire show. But the first night of pure panic,
the Jerry thing was, and I will say that because the whole sort of thing, at a certain point when you're doing a live TV show, and that was a 2-hour show, both
with
nights,
one commercial break,
with like a very brief break. But so it kind of becomes its own thing. Like once the train leaves the station, it's just happening. And it's like, you're kind of just holding on to the bull, whatever the analogy is. But like, it was, so intense and so fun but crazy. So it's like, well, we just kind of have to go with it. But I really will, I don't think, ever forget hearing in my earpiece, like, Jerry's not here. Jerry's not here. Fill time. Jerry's not coming. Jerry's not coming.
The second guest. And I feel like at that point, if this happened on the second day, we would know how to flow. Like we didn't even have we just got like, it was like the plane was taking off and they're like, and land.
Yeah.
And so that was like, and so like I was freaked out because
now I will say I haven't talked to Jerry. Have you talked to him at all?
Yes, I've talked to him a lot because Jerry's in my fantasy football league, and there's a lot of disagreement going on.
And I'm not mad at Jerry because I just feel like it was like a very Jerry thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just like, well, of course he didn't show up.
Well, and here's the thing. I told Jerry multiple times, like, I'm not mad at you. But what the fuck was going on? Because I had emailed you, I had talked to you, I went on his show to talk about this. One of the hosts said, hey, Jerry, where are you calling in from? And I go, he's not calling in from anywhere. He's going to be in studio for the first time. What are you going to bring, Jerry? I'll bring this. Jerry and I talked about it. Like, Jerry and I are also friends. Like, and there were emails like, this is where you valet. This is where we go. This is the time you got to show up. Everything was in the email, which means he never read a single email, even down to when he texted Molly and said, like, where do I call in?
Yeah.
And so I was like, and that to me, I was like, I almost wanted to be like, Jerry, I'm not mad at you that you missed the show. I'm just like, what? You didn't open up you didn't even open up an email. Like that to me is
well, you know how it is. It's like to us, it was very important because it was a live thing where we're giving away a car. To other people, to our friends, they're like, yeah, sure, man. Like, I'll be there.
But
I mean,
like,
how many
people
showed?
I mean, we talked, we definitely reached out to people, and and we got, people said yes, people said no, but pretty much people who said no couldn't do it because they had something come up, and we were adding people at the last second, and it was like we were trying to make the show as full and as exciting as we could, and everyone was great, but no one didn't not show besides Jerry. People might have had different issues and stuff like that, but no one left us on the line there, and that was the crazy thing because we built this entire game around Jerry, like guess what June will say, because we felt like, okay, you are the godfather of my son, she is my wife, and Jerry and June know each other very well. So what would be fun? But then we did it with Molly, and we did it with Eva, but Eva doesn't know June,
doesn't know your wife,
and we were also kind of like, it was like a weird zone of like I wasn't even in that bit because I was like, I'm trying to think like, what do we need to do? How do we need to get out of this? Like, what's next? It was so crazy.
Well, I think if we do more of those, which I hope we do, we learned a lot from, it's the first one. So I think we learned a lot from doing it. Like we learned what kind of bits to do and what kind of games to do and kind of what
that's why Molly couldn't play it. Molly couldn't play the game because Molly wrote the questions and Molly was the only one who knew the answers. So so Molly couldn't play. Sorry.
That's so funny.
But we learned. I mean, we learned, but I
thought it was I really liked I think we can do, a lot of whatever. For people that didn't see it, we're boring them, so we should talk about who's the boss.
You can watch the entire thing,
which is why people want to.
You can watch it here on our channel. But it's great. I mean, it's super fun.
I mean, I love the idea of giving away celebrity stuff because that's what it seems like. It might be a little bit confusing. We were basically giving away this stuff. All you had to do is guess what Eva's price of it was. Like she was gonna say how much it cost, which was just a number she's making up, and then whoever guessed closest to that number gets the actual thing from a famous person's.
And like we gave away great stuff. We gave away props from Silicon Valley. We gave away an Arby's hat. We gave away, a plant. Rob, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
We had the holidays.
Is this about your wife's birthday?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Paul. I haven't, to be honest, if I may, I haven't purchased your wife a gift because I didn't think that would be appropriate.
Rob, I always say, don't get me a gift, get my wife a gift.
I know you always say it, but I don't buy my friends' wives birthday gifts.
We'll talk about it off air.
Okay. It just seems like a request. Okay, we can talk about it off the air.
But I would like to table it because I'm upset that my wife doesn't get a gift.
But what I don't even know what would be appropriate to give your wife, like some lingerie or like
beautiful lingerie.
I'm not. I'm married. I'm not going to give your wife.
It's for me.
All right. I mean, whatever. Let's talk about it off the air.
Rob, I feel like your wife and my wife are similar in certain ways.
Yeah, our wives.
My wives. But I will say the way that. I don't know if Holly is this way, but I'm going to guess that maybe she is. Is she obsessed with like true crime?
Yes.
Holly? Okay.
Yes.
So is June.
Obsessed. Paul.
And
yes. Well, my wife's father, my father-in-law, who I love, is a lawyer. And so I think Holly kind of thinks that she's a lawyer. And so she is, but he doesn't even do that kind of law. But so she's obsessed with, I think as a lot of people are, with Dateline and for basically murder, specifically when a woman is murdered, my wife goes into solving the case.
Well, my wife is on a case right now.
Oh, my wife's on a case right now.
Is she on the Idaho case?
Oh, I'm on the case, Paul.
Okay, me too. Now I'm
all day long. I'm on the case. And I feel, listen,
I don't want to make fun of it.
Yeah, I'm not making a joke. It's terrible. But my personal life has been unnecessarily, the case is closed. I mean, they caught the guy. That's the guy.
Well,
that's him.
They're gonna now we're gonna find out more and weird details, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, but they have DNA evidence today from
it's on
the
knife
sheath of the knife. Yeah, and yes, it's the guy. But
wow. And by the way, like what a great job.
I could tell you, my wife texts me and I'm not even home. I'm in Canada and she's texting me like, did you see this? Did you see this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't see it. Thank you for sending it to me. Yep. I agree. Yep. They should have, they should have gotten him earlier, but they got him. Like,
by the way, I think I listened to this guy. June is only watching TikTok videos because here's the other thing about this Idaho college murder issue. TikTok got really obsessed with it, and it became a thing on TikTok before it really broke into mainstream news. It was a very June was talking about the Idaho murders, and I was like, I haven't heard about this. And she's like, it's a big deal. And it just had not broken into the national landscape yet, but TikTok had gotten very into it, and like all these investigators on TikTok were like, that person, they were like outing people, and they were all wrong. And then like when one of the things that somebody was pointing out was like this guy who they arrested, they're like, he wasn't on our radar. It was interesting. He wasn't on our radar. It's like, yeah, because you're not a cop. You're not, you don't have access to all this. You're like, but people were really like getting into the nitty gritty of it. And June's been up in the nitty gritty of it. And it has been fascinating. Like, I didn't want to fall down this wormhole. Now I'm in this wormhole. I'm like reading all this stuff.
I know. I really, because it is so terrible and so sad.
It's brutal. Yeah. It's not, there's nothing to be, I mean, look, all of this stuff ultimately, and this is like the joke of it, is like all these true crime stories, the Datelines, the murder podcasts, these people have families, and then they are used as entertainment. Like,
it becomes like, the game of solving a mystery, and that's not what it should be. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that to people outside of it. It's like, oh, I'll solve, it's like watching a mystery movie. Like, oh, that guy did it, or that guy did it. So it becomes a game, and it shouldn't be that way.
And everyone starts to weigh in on like, well, they should have done this too. Yes. And victims are real people. Everyone's a real person, but it becomes like this thing of like, it's a game.
That said, do you have a take on it? Like why, or how this person met them or whatever? Like,
no, the thing that I thought was so interesting was, and again, I don't know what's real or what's not. Obviously, I think this is a situation where the cops, and maybe somebody is going to tell me something differently, the cops did a very good job. They narrowed in, they got their thing. I listened to a police officer who has like an investigator who has a podcast, and he talked about, he said, look, when you have a big case like this, you got one shot. He's like, you need to have everything ready to go. So for anyone out there saying that they moved too slow or they didn't do anything, it's like, you only have one chance. So they were telling them for 4 days, they need to get everything lined up so they can make their case and do it in a way that they don't mess it up. They can't get off of a technicality and stuff like that. In fact, they were watching for 4 days means that they were on him. They were just, it appears slow to other people. But I think what this guy was saying was they had figured it out kind of quicker than what they led on to, because they're police officers. They're not trying
they're not broadcasting everything they're doing. I think it took them, and I could be wrong, I think it took them 2 weeks to zero in on the car. Pretty soon they had what do they call it? Like a video like dragnet or whatever of the area, and they saw like, oh, this car has gone by 4 times, on the, like that car is suspicious. And then they found that car, went back to Washington State University. And then they also now have his phone records that show that he turned off his phone, or he was headed there and then turned off his phone, did it, and then drove away and then turned back on his phone. And like, so, but so they know where his phone was pinging from, like all along the way. So, but I mean, whatever. None of this is funny or entertaining, but like, I think my take on it is that obviously he's in grad school, he's studying criminology. I think he's probably one of those fucked up people that is like a narcissist and thought that he could outsmart the whole system. I'm just guessing, and did this. And part of it was probably like, oh, I bet I can outsmart these
right.
people.
If I can study it, and I will not make the same mistakes. Like I'm going to turn off my phone.
Right.
So
right.
it won't.
I mean, he was like pulled over, he drove home with his dad to Pennsylvania.
I watched that video too. Yeah.
And he was pulled over like twice within 10 minutes, which is crazy, and was given a warning both times. So that's crazy also. But, at that time they weren't looking for his car. It's just crazy that he would do something at one point he was following too closely behind a car. That's why he got pulled over the first time, I think. But, so there's I don't know. There's a lot there. I mean, someone also said, and I don't know everything about it, but someone said that he's vegan and two of the girls worked at a vegan restaurant. So maybe like he was at that, like how many vegan restaurants can there be in that little small town in Idaho?
I also heard that and this again, I don't know what's true or not, because I think there's a lot of talk and people like, I know an expert, I'm this guy and that. It's like that he was at a local bar, like if his license was scanned, it's like, watch out for this guy, he's kind of a creepo. There was like a little bit of
and I think
a history of being a little weird.
Yeah, my wife was listening to this sounds like I'm obsessed with it, but
by now we are into it. We are into it. People are like, it sounds like you guys are into it. My wife is the only way I can talk to my wife. It's all I got.
Well, I talked to my wife one time about why do you like this? Because to me it's depressing. I mean, aside from the fact that these are real people that were killed and these are kids that were slaughtered, but I asked my wife one time, why do you watch all this stuff? It's so intense. Why do you watch Dateline? Why do you watch 48 Hours? And she was like, because I want to see these fucking guys get caught. They get caught. Eventually they get caught. And so there's something satisfying when they are brought to justice or whatever. So I think that's the sort of end game satisfaction for people. But
please tell me if I'm being in any way a misogynist by saying this, or if I'm being anything of I'm open to critique here, but I also think there's an element where women, and the women I've talked to, are afraid of these fucking men that can be in their lives.
Why wouldn't you be?
Why wouldn't part of this is I am studying. I'm aware of all of this.
Yes,
before it happens. Yeah,
it's for my own protection. Right. Right. Yeah, I don't think that's misogynistic. I think that's real. I think that's
it's self-preservation. They live in a scary fucking world of, and somebody was saying this right now. It's like, you live in a scary world. It's like, oh yeah, this can happen to a girl who works at a vegan restaurant that he has no connection to. But it's almost like,
women have to think about this. Men don't think about this. Women have to think about that shit. Wait, I'm going to go out with this guy. I didn't realize that was a thing. When women meet up with a guy for the first time, they tell all of their friends where they're going and who this guy, for their own safety. That never occurred to me. Oh fuck, that's a thing, that you might get abducted by this person, or he might be a weirdo, and you need to get the fuck out of there. That's a real thing. So
by the way, there was
our show has become a true crime show.
But now I'll tell you this much: there was a thing that I saw last night, which was kind of crazy. It was always protect yourself. And it was a mom and her son coming home, and they were they have one of those Ring doorbells, and which we're going to do our next live special on Ring doorbells.
I wish I could afford one.
And so they got in and they locked the door behind them. They said, always lock the door behind you, because literally as they walked in the door, closed it and locked it, a guy just came out of the bushes and tried to walk in the house right behind them. Literally things were oh, I'm home, I'm safe, I'm this and whatever. This is hilarious.
Right.
Men's biggest issue for dating a girl is that she doesn't look like her photo, and a girl's biggest issue is a guy may murder her.
True. Well, yes, we can get off of this, but I do want to ask your take. This is, is this too, I don't know, too depressing, but I don't get, going back to just what we heard today, that the roommate that was not killed saw the guy, was frozen, and supposedly, I guess the guy didn't see her and walked right past her. So she saw him, or saw a guy in black clothing. And I think he was wearing, she said, a mask. I don't know whether that means a ski mask. I'm